Hi, my name is Karen Tao, and I am an assistant professor in counseling psychology at the University of Utah. My focus is on how children think and talk about who they are. I'm also a mom of 2 kids, ages 4 and 7, and I think that's probably a big part of what I do. Today I really have the best job because I get to introduce the 3 session leaders that are under one major theme, which is raising socially conscious and conscientious youth. The focus for today is really on how do we talk with our children about things in the world that are hard, and how do we help foster a sense of self, a strong sense of self, and how that starts really young. And so through our discussions and through activities, we hope to give folks some experience doing that tonight.
My name is Joel Arvizo Zavala. I am currently the director of Rose Park Community School. In about a week, I'll begin a new position as Director of Education and Curator of Curiosity for Thanksgiving Point. I definitely consider myself an artist educator. Let's say educator in capital letters and maybe artist in small letters. It's something that I've been developing very recently in my life. So at tonight's ACME session, I'm going to be working with oil pastels and guiding our participants through a self-portrait exercise. And throughout the process tonight, we're going to be unpacking and asking questions, delving into the artistic process, and really thinking about why we choose, how we choose, and when we choose to articulate ourselves and identify with ourselves deeply and intimately through vulnerability and authenticity through the forms of art. And the major component to it is as each individual goes through the artistic expression and the exercise, we're also going to have really strategic reflection questions, asking participants about their identity and how they're utilizing elements of and knowledge of themselves and actually ensuring that that translates into the self-portrait directly.
My name is Iris Moulton, and I'm the coordinator of campus engagement at the Utah Museum of Fine Arts, and I work mostly with the university community. So at this ACME session, I've brought an object from our teaching collection, and we're going to be looking at it together as a group to practice what it's like to slow down any rush to judgment or prejudice that we have about thinking we already know what the object is. So if I present it and somebody has a long history with an object like it, they might have something similar in their house, or they've seen it before, they've seen a documentary about these kinds of objects. Leave all of that at the door and let's just see what we can find in the object right in front of us.
My name is Amir Jackson, and I am the founder and director of the Nurture the Creative Mind Foundation. Our mission is to empower young people through the vehicle of the arts and creativity. I'm very excited about tonight's session. We're going to be discussing the power of belief and how belief is really the core of any success and achievement. We are also going to be exploring the thought of I am and how powerful those 2 words can be, but also what comes after those 2 words. Exploring not just identity, but positive identity. The identity that comes within, not from societal definitions or structured beliefs, and basically owning your identity and believing in yourself and choosing who you want to be and allowing that to be your compass in life.
I want them to engage in 2 things. To become comfortable with the dissonance that is our identities. They're constantly in flux, as they should be, and they're constantly changing. And as we gain new knowledge and new experiences, it is perfectly acceptable to be able to say, you know what, I thought who I was this, but now that I have this new experience or this new knowledge, I'm going to make a transition, and that's important to me. The other piece that I really want people to take home is this notion of identity acceptance and identity resolution. And the more we allow ourselves to engage and really think about and reflect on who we are, the more opportunities we have to say, this is who I am and I'm comfortable with this. That includes my strengths and my weaknesses. And this is a part of me that I haven't explored, but I know that one day I'll have an opportunity to do that. So hopefully tonight is part of that opportunity.
I think it's important to slow down our looking and the way that we approach whether it's people or objects, because that way we can kind of eliminate from our mind any prejudice that we might have. This is a practice that around the country people are starting to do with medical staff so that they work better with patients, as well as with police so that they encounter members of their community with a little bit less rush to judgment.
So for just a second, I'd like you to think just silently to yourself, you do not have to share this, about a time when you were the victim of a snap judgment or when you yourself made one. 15 seconds, but I promise it'll be over soon.
It's extremely important. The idea of belief is extremely important. That really is the foundation of a person's trajectory in life. If you believe that you are a bad person, or you believe that life puts you in a situation where you're set up for failure, if you start to believe that and accept it, if you accept that belief, I think it's much more difficult for you to come out of it. However, if you believe that possibilities are abound, or there's potential, that you have potential, you set yourself up for success.
I want a better idea of what this project and what this type of work can look like, outside of my school context. There's a little bit of isolation there, and so the opportunity and excitement that comes with being able to do this in a larger setting with people that are outside my school, with community members, and maybe even other artists, that's what's really exciting to me. What does it look like for adults and other people, across gender, identity, racial, ethnic, cultural spectrums to really participate in this work, and for me to have an opportunity to see that and observe that and facilitate that.
I hope people walk away from this session with not only a sense of how wonderful it is to look at art objects, but also with this idea that they can kind of take their time and not be experts in something, and that means it's not necessarily scary, it's just something that they have a chance to learn more about.
What I hope that everyone leaves is with a seed. I hope a seed is planted, and I hope that that seed at some point gets nourished and has potential to grow.
I always walk away with something new also from debriefing, and the debriefing part of any session, which is learning from community members, new ideas that I can take to use as a researcher, as a teacher, and as a mom. I think it's important for kids to understand kind of their role in the future and how we are able to cultivate more inclusive communities. I guess I should also say I'm really in the business of quality and healthy relationships, and I think part of having those kinds of healthy relationships, whether they're in a family or across different groups with different beliefs and ideas, that it really starts with how do we cultivate authentic and genuine relationships, and that starts with talking to our kids about stuff like that.